cruising. All right, just follow me. It was the fucking craziest situation ever. I thought I hit my head, you know what I mean, from the slam. But I didn't know that it hit my back and fucked my spinal cord up, you know? I looked down, and I see Matt Rodriguez and Julian, they're looking at me. And I was like, what's wrong? Matty fucking was like, dude, can you feel this? And he fucking was squeezing on my legs. I couldn't feel it, dude. Yeah, they fucking said that I will not walk again. There's no way. They told my mom that in front of me, and it fucking just broke her. How could I not be able to walk? And I was like, fuck you, dude. I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna be stuck here. I was like, I'm walking out of this hospital, I told the dude. As time went by, like maybe a few months later, all of a sudden I got like a little flicker of my toe, just a tad bit, and I was like, it's on.
All hail Cardiel! All hail Cardiel! All hail Cardiel! All hail Cardiel! What you heard us sing? Said he'd never be the same. Big pants, little tires. Here comes a man with scope of fire. All hail Cardiel! Fuckers!
Some people are just like blessed and touched in certain different ways, and that, you know, some people are born with more than others. I mean, it's a fact, and I mean, John represents that. Like, he was born with a little bit more than some people.
Yeah, man, this is where I spend all my time, dude. Oh, fucking with music, that's what's up.
What are the favorite ones you have, like the most valuable, or the treasures of your collection?
Man, they're all fucking, don't take any of them. This is probably my favorite album I have. Barrington Levy, Run Come Ya. It's fucking hecka tight, dude.
I think maybe people like skaters out there would have this perception of you like being into like Slayer. I think it would come as a surprise to know. You know.
How chilled out I am. That's all good, dude. I mean, that's always been my thing, you know what I mean? It's like everywhere I've ever been, skating and stuff like that, people are always just like, fuck, you know, come at me all sideways and shit, and I'm like, you know, really, like, you don't even know. I mean, I love Slayer, you know, I love hard music, you know what I mean? But really, where my heart's at, you know what I mean? If you want to talk about some shit, let's talk about some reggae, you know what I mean?
How long have you been into reggae and stuff like that?
Since probably like 5th grade, 6th grade. It just, you know, smoking weed and fucking listening to Bob Marley and shit, and Peter Tosh, you know what I mean? Skating. Yeah, oh, dude, this was, my mom just had brought this stuff.
What is it all?
Just some art shit that I had done. Like, I was such a fucking stoner, dude. Look at this. Like, this was my fucking shit, dude. This was everything I was into right here. Being in fucking high school. Skating, fucking surf vibes, ocean, weed. It was just, this was it, dude.
Where are you from?
I'm from Half Moon Bay, and then I moved to Grass Valley. And there wasn't shit around. And I was the only kid from the ocean or whatever that would, you know, basically smoke weed and fucking skate. And everybody was like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, we ride dirt bikes, chew tobacco.
You like it out here in the country?
Yeah.
So, John, what do you do on a normal day?
I go swimming, skateboarding, you know, ride them little things around, and, you know, I like to just have fun all day, you know?
John moved up to Grass Valley when he was like in 7th grade. I seen him one day riding his bike around, and I was like, whoa, hey, you're that new kid I seen at school or whatever. But he was just had so much energy and so fired up. Like, he could just like run up walls and do backflips and stuff like that. Like, he just do weird shit like that. Like, he was like almost like a performance artist, I guess, kind of like how Gons like runs around and does weird stuff, you know, like that. Like, John was into doing that kind of stuff like when he was a kid.
I always liked flipping, you know, it was fucking weird. I've always tried doing flips on whatever. I think I just get so juiced, dude, when I'm around my friends and people are like, going nuts and shit. I'm like, I got something for you. I got something. Poof. I try to just flip or some shit, you know what I mean? Or just do something, you know what I mean? Do something, basically, is what I feel like doing. Something.
just basically going for it. I guess when his dad took him when he was a little kid to some bridge and said, hey, fucker, jump or you're walking home. And he was like, you know, 9 or some shit. And he jumped off some 70-foot bridge into the water. That was like, you know, his dad's some combat-ready Vietnam vet. And John was like, okay. You know, so John had already learned at a very early age that, you know, air was very important.
Yeah, you know, third round and shit, I got kind of worked. But, you know, when that shit ain't staged, you know, that's fucking, it's for real. People that are friends with skateboarders and stuff like that, I think that they should skateboard, you know? Skateboarding's a rad thing, you know? It's like going out skating with your friends and having fun, you know? Skating hills or something, whatever. That's just how it works. Surfing so fast, you don't know how to belly board and skim.
Was there a lot to skate, or just a couple ramps, or what did you skate?
Just skated at the high school all the time. You know, just had fun, man. You know what I mean? Just a regular dirt kid, dude.
I remember I had Spanish class with him. The bell rings, right? Jumps right onto his board, right out of class. I just see him go down to it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's just going for it. From the get-go, John was really good at skating. I don't know how. He was just like magically good all of a sudden. I went to John's house one time, and he had this launch ramp at his house, and it was a super tight, tranny launch ramp, but it was like a legitimate like skateboard launch ramp. And like the first thing he does, he's like, oh dude, it's nothing. He's like, yeah, I'll hit it, whatever, check it out. So he just like charges at it and does a judo kick backside 360 off it. Just like first try, bam, like all sick, like judo kick, backside 360, and I was just like, what's that? Like, I had no clue. I was just like dumbfounded, like, holy shit, dude, I can't believe you just did that. Well, John got sponsored for snowboarding first before he got sponsored for skateboarding. I remember he got sponsored by like Avalanche Snowboards or something like that. And there was a contest at Boreal, like in 1990, I think. It was a skate and snowboard contest. So it was like the first day was a snowboard contest, the second day was the pro skate contest.
I remember seeing Dwayne was just wasted out of his mind. And he fucking spit on me, dude.
Why'd he spit on you?
Like he has his fucking nose was all blasted, his lip was all cut up, walking around the parking lot, and I was like, bro, your face is all fucked up, you're bleeding. And he was like, fuck you, and he goes, spit on me, dude, and I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, that dude's gnarly. I knew it was Dwayne, but I was still like, fuck.
It was a street contest, and I remember, like, you know, Andy Howe and Ed Templeton and Sal Barbier, Mike Carroll, all the guys were there, Tommy Guerrero. So it was a big gathering. A storm came in, so it was kind of cold, and during the practice sessions, there was this kid, and he's just killing the course. And Tommy comes up to me and says, who's this kid? I said, I have no idea. And it was John Cardiel. And that was the first time anybody ever saw him.
Next thing you know, Red Dog came up to me with some boards and was just like, bro, fucking ride for our company, bro, fucking Dogtown. And he's like, I'll send you some more boards or whatever, send a video. So I was like, fucking juice, bro. New boards, brand new boards, and they came in the mail. It just fucking next level took my skating, dude. I was like, all over it.
John Cardiel, the new king, Lake of the Pines, California. He's insane. Check it out.
Dude. Holy shit, he did a Miller.
I don't know what you've archived, so I don't know. But I mean, I have stories in my own heart from John. I was there from his tryout for Dogtown. It was me, Stacy Gibo, Noah Peacock, Bryce Knights, Red Dog, Jim Muir. We were all at fucking Studio 43, and Red Dog's like, you gotta see Cardiel skate. I love this photo because it shows the whole time. For me, it's like, this is 1991. John was like 17. This photo right here. This is the time. This is Cardiel method to fakie, fucking chukka boots, you know, just going for it. You know, we were all like shocked that he was trying shit that was like unmakeable. I was like, dude, how can you not like this style? It's every trick you fucking is make or die. So we were all like fucking, okay, kid's on the team.
The thing is, the way he skates, you can't not appreciate that, just his style of skating. First time I saw him was NSA AM finals in, it was in Atlanta. And then there was this snaking, like, slider bar, you know, with double PVC. It was like unskateable. And he goes full speed, like running as fast as he can. Run, jumps on his board, push, he's going. And he tries to board slide the whole thing, sticks right away on it, and just goes tumbling on the rail slide bar. Just boom, 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 boom. Goes back, tries it again, and does the same exact thing. Dude, that's my introduction to John Cardiel.
Fucking dude.
Fucking 180, dude. Dope.
You fucking hick, you did that bitch.
Oh
my god, dude.
I felt so gnarly, dude.
That's what you love about skateboarding, huh?
Fuck yeah, the best.
JC, Jumbo Cajones, John Cardiel.
DTS the video? That video was sick, dude. Are you kidding me? Yeah, of course I remember it.
We're gonna go. Once I shove it, back to 180 ollie. Boom. Switch stance, like up the curb, flip to the side, and that's it, okay?
Like in the Dogtown video, he rode his board backwards and did a 180 nose grab, you know? Like, people weren't really doing nose grabs back then. He did a front 180 nose grab and then turned around and did a switch 180. It wasn't too long after, you know, the Gons did the switch 180 down it. You know, 6 months later to a year later, John's doing it, you know? And he was still doing kind of progressive moves, I guess, as you're saying.
Skateboarding at that time was real small. It was like little wheels and pressure flipping and just going wicked slow. It was like skateboarding had to go real small before it could get really big again. They had to get the control that you learned from being down on the ground. John had already superseded all that. You know, he wanted to just catch fucking air.
No, I mean, he was down in Embarcadero a lot, and then like I think he was at my house a lot because of staying with Greg, you know, staying at my house. You know, I think everyone down there thought he was super sick. Like, he's just a sick skater, different than everyone else down there.
And this is the first time anyone ever did anything but an ollie over the Gons, and very few people even did an ollie.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. He would always come to Embarcadero and hang out. He kind of thought we didn't like him at first for a while too, because he was more like rocker, kind of like out in the country style guy, and we were more like the city dickhead kids with the tag and markers. And then one day he was like, "It's all good me being here all the time." And I was like, "Of course, dude." I can't think of like a single, just a gnarly trait. Just not. He's like just a big blur of mad Cardielness. Yeah, he wasn't trying to like nollie flip grind nothing. He would just go full speed and Smith grind the shit out of it instead, like, and go about 2 feet instead of 2 inches.
It was always just mad respect for those dudes. Henry, Mike, fucking, all those dudes, just everybody, straight up.
You know, when EMB blew up and the new progression of street skating was coming in, John was there and he was skating EMB, but he was also riding other parts of the city. He would come into San Francisco and ride the avenues and the hills and everything that you put a skateboard on.
Yeah, I don't think it was too hard for him to gain acceptance. The fact that he would just go for it so hard, and the slams he would take, and the screams he would yell when he would slam. And,
oh my God!
I mean, everything John did, like every moment of his forwardness, it was just like all of him is being used. Like, I mean, even a lot of those tech dudes, they weren't using their body to their fullest potential like that. They weren't using every ounce of themselves like that, you know? I mean, I heard stories from people that saw John for the first time, and they would be like, "This kid's fucking crazy."
Sorry for scaring you, sorry. We're making skip for minutes. I just got back from LA and I was standing with Tobin, and he had a photo of someone doing this really twisted, slob, one-footed air on a mini ramp, and it was just ridiculous. And I was like, "This is a bail." And he swore to me it wasn't. I was like, you're full of shit. And then when he kept telling me it wasn't a bail, this kid was really that crazy. And I was like, well, I gotta fucking see for myself. And then I ran into him down at the Powell skate zone. And I just went out of my way to fucking go skate with him and see if it was for real. And it was. It's fucking so cliche, you know, but like his 100% fucking commitment, you know? And it just comes through, you know? And there's been, I guess, gnarlier like Hesh dudes around the same time, you know, but there's just something in John's skating that is so, I don't want to say obvious, but that just, it can't be imitated, it can't be faked, you know, yeah.
Oh, it smells good. Smells like pussy.
Dude, this whole society is based on a jock mentality. Imperialism, global, like taking over. Colonialism, that's what it is. Going and just taking countries because we deserve it. They call it manifest destiny. It's our destiny to rule the planet, to own every country. It's such fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, oh, we want it to ourselves. This is our country now. Get out! Get out!
That was just fucking traveling. We'd just go. And with Andy Roy and Julian, we used to fucking do these missions and fucking skate and just like eat Advil for breakfast, dude, and just fucking skate all day.
Sick.
Those were the times. I forget the year. I want to say 91 or 92. We were fucking skating the Vert ramp. Fuck, Danny Way was up there, right? And I'm skating Vert with Danny Way, right? And I'm like, dude, and Colin McKay, and these guys are all busting, right? And I'm trying to get mine in there, a fucking couple Smith grinds and fucking, you know, like scratching a couple airs. I was like, fuck it, I want to do a 540, you know?
Colin McKay, Plan B, was the only skaters on the ramp at this time. Cardiel, that's it, bro, for now. As soon as things get rolling, we'll get you back up on there.
So, I fucking asked Danny Way, I was like, what's up with the 540, dude? And he's like, you know, you just fucking... Dude, he told me, and I'll tell you the key to it is alley-oop it. That's what he told me.
Yeah, Cardiel over the years would always jump on the Vert ramp in the middle of a Vert practice session and start throwing down crazy tricks. But he was like the rawest dude because he didn't wear pads. He used to try backflips, and the first guy I ever even saw try a backflip on a Vert ramp without pads before Slogo or anybody.
You know what's the trip is Jake has the photo. Because I told him I was going to do it. I was like, I'm going to fucking make this shit, Jake. And he didn't believe me. And then fucking he saw it go down. It was a trip. Yeah, first one I've ever made. And we just were skating the ramp. And I was so fucking juiced because I'm skating the ramp with Colin McKay and Danny Way. It's like, that's fucking insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those dudes are like straight gnar, you know, so it's fucking sick. Some shit down here, but fucking, I mean, there's not old boards, dude. I just got shit. You wanna look at a bunch of shit? I got a bunch of shit.
Anything that's cool to talk about that's like
Oh, dude, I feel fucking gay though.
Why is that?
Oh, cause it's too much shit. Basically.
No, I want to see it. I want to see it.
I got some snowboards and shit. These dudes, Santa Cruz, they fucking were hella tight. They made a tribute. I was a pro snowboarder for a while.
How long were you pro snowboarder for?
For years, man. I don't know. Just fucking growing up in the sticks or whatever, and just going snowboarding. I was pro for probably like 4 years or some shit like that. Skating was just better. I mean, you think about it, right? Snowboarding, to learn snowboarding, you have to fucking buy the boots, buy the snowboard, buy the clothes, buy a lift ticket. I mean, that's $100 easy, $200 just to fucking go up to the snow, gas, everything, food. So you semi gotta be of means to even fucking kickstart the sport. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like when now you're around all these dudes that are professional at it, and they're like, yeah, fucking grew up in Aspen, fucking just whatever snowboarders. You know what I mean? You're like, that don't know no kind of fucking hard times. You know what I mean? And you're just like we don't really vibe. You know what I mean? So I just was like, what? Whoa, just you know what I mean? These are my fucking people. Like, I fucking vibe with skateboarders. I don't really know how much more to explain it, you know?
How long have you known Mark?
I don't know. I went to England with the dude when I was, I'll tell you right now, hold on. Since 92, bro. Yeah, August of 92.
Let me see your photo in there. That photo's amazing.
Well, basically, I went on a Black Label trip, and I was just kind of in awe of the dude. And next, I don't know, we started skating, and we kind of just were hanging out. Like, it was just like automatic friends. It was hella trippy, you know what I mean? I was like, this dude's tight. And then we started just doing little tricks and shit. I made up some trick because I didn't know it was a pressure flip, but look like a kick flip or a heel flip. And I was like, look, I made this trick up. I did this straight pressure flip. He's all, cherry flip or whatever. And I was like, he named my trick. Like, I felt all fucking stupid or whatever. But homeboy was tight, dude. I don't know, we just got along. It's always just been kind of on the level, dude. I have mad respect for Mark, and I don't think he's crazy at all, straight up. Straight up. He rides all kinds of bikes. Mark's multi-bike talented, has everything, right? But fucking one night, we were riding, it was me, Julian, and Mark. Just us three, we were riding. Mark was taking us a ride, and he was flexing for us in front of us, right? He was doing all kinds of crazy shit, right? And we're just looking at him like, what the fuck? Bobbing through traffic, going nuts and everything. And she fucking starts riding without hands. And he starts fucking just jamming. He's like, yo, woo! Making all kinds of noise and shit and going through traffic without hands. And me and Julian are just looking at each other like, dude, this is crazy. And all of a sudden, and he just fucking hits the ground and just fucking slams. So gnarly. And his fucking both tires were bent and fucking tacoed. He fucking gets the bike together, fucking starts stomping on the fucking rims, fixes the rims so they're fucking semi-straight or whatever. Fucking the front tire's flat, and he just fucking hops back on it, no hands, starts doing it again, dude. And I was just like, ha!
My favorite skating is skating pools, skating ramps, skating street, anything that's skatable pretty much.
I always have just brought a backpack and a board box on every single skate trip ever. And it's always just been boards to sell and fucking your backpack and fucking clothes for weeks. You know what I mean?
And then wash them if you need to,
wherever. Some stream or some shit. Some water faucet. Only thing is I just think that we're all fucking skate rats. You know what I mean? And we're all fucking just dirty ass people, but you know what I mean, just down for whatever type of people. Every single one of us. I don't think that nobody can't hang. You know what I mean? I think everybody's really secretly down for it.
My name is Jake Phelps, and I'm in Brazil to check out some skate scene around your country. The only reason that I work with skateboarding is because I've devoted my life to it, and I love it. I love it to death. Skating is a universal language, and people are going to do it. You know, even if they can't speak your language, that they're still just as devoted to it.
My name's Joey Terche. I'm 23 years old. I've been skating for 10 years, I guess, something like that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, Brazil's sick. You guys got the best stuff to skate, man. Cement's the best stuff to skate, so, you know, you guys got it all here. You guys got hills, pools, but you guys got ripping pools.
We'd get to one spot and we'd be talking about where's another fucking spot, and we just want to go skate spots. We didn't even care. That's what we would do. We would just go everywhere we could, dude. It was a trip.
Did anyone tell you about me and John's fight in Brazil?
No.
It's a stupid story. You won't have any footage to back it up, but everyone was going to sushi place where you had to take your shoes off, and my feet smelled so bad that I was like, I even pulled John aside. I was embarrassed, and I was like, John, man, I can't go in there, man. I got to take my shoes off and shit. I'm gonna bum everyone out. He's like, all right, let's just kick back outside. So we kicked back, and we had a soccer ball, and we're kicking it around. And these Brazilian dudes are like, hey, let's play soccer, or whatever, in Brazilian. And we kind of blew them off. We're like, fuck you, get out of here. Not realizing that the fuck you was the only thing that came through in translation. So they kind of attacked us, and John got his head kicked in really hard that night. I was taking photos of John knocked out on the ground, and this dude kicks the camera out of my hand with their shirts over their face saying no fotografia, and I'm running down the street, and I had stepped in some glass. I was barefoot at this point. I'm running down the street bleeding profusely. John's fucking left for dead on the fucking side of the street, and I just ripped my film out of my camera and I threw it at him, and they tore it to pieces like hyenas, you know, like hungry wolves, man. They're just like, ah. And then they started walking the other way, and I was able to go back and see what was up with John. It was really freaky, man.
Well, you just got to keep skating if that's what you want to do. But if you don't want to, don't kid yourself. Get out. Go do something else. And if it gets too scary for you, you were never meant to skate in the first place.
My name's John Cardiel. I'm here skating.
What happened to your face, John?
I messed it up skating.
And we were in Brazil one time. We got off the fucking airplane, 13-hour flight, drinking and fucking off. There's this fucking bank and this chain and this cobblestones that's like fucking 16 feet tall. He tried to kickflip over this chain and just got stuffed right off the fucking airplane. Everybody's like, oh, well, that's the end of that. John's like, ta-da, you know, let's do it again. If I, you know, because that's one of the reasons we'd always rolled good together. It was like, I'm yelling and screaming, Julian's fucking over there in the corner, you know, the gang's all here, but we always had Cardiel to back up our shit. So that whenever anything happened, it's like, we just be like, yeah, get some, John, get it, boy. And he'd be like, it's on. It really was interesting to watch him grow up, like I said, from his Sponsor Me interview to give him the Skater of the Year trophy in front of 25 people. Mike Burnett will tell you that when we named John Skater of the Year, he'd never even heard of him. So, I mean, in our little world, Cardiel was all that we knew. I mean, he was we had Wade Spire, Cardiel. I mean, our NorCal people that were pushing the limits with JJ Rogers. I mean, just people that were fucking gnarly. Andy Roy. I mean, they were all people that came through our life. So we were all really convinced that these are the people that represent where we're from, and hence, therefore, they represent the mag, and we're all down for them.
To define skateboarding?
Yeah.
Awesome, great, killer, one word. Can't say one word, it's too rad.
Julian was just spontaneous. His approach to skating was just so loose. He just had such a loose style. He never really set anything up. It was just like, I'm just skating, and if you get the shot, you get the shot.
What's this one?
That is Julian, dude, and that is the spirit of that dude right there, straight up. That's just, to me, that's just fucking everything. Julian just fucking sick.
What's Julian like?
He's fucking righteous, dude. He's a sick-ass person.
Yeah, a lot of people. He's kind of a mystery to a lot of people. I think, like, you know.
Right. I don't really know, man. He is what you see. You know what I mean? He's just straight real.
Well, what's skating with Julian like?
It's fucking tiring. Him and Jake, man, both those dudes, fucking, they just go and they don't stop. And they don't care if you're behind them or not. It's like they just fucking go and you're just like catching up like a little fucking puppy dog. Like, and then you're just fucking like, okay, and then, no, we're going over here. And you're just like, fuck, like just following them everywhere and just doing the craziest shit along the way. You're like, damn. And there's a method to it, you know, to the craziness.
Is Julian the kind of person that doesn't care if it's filmed or photographed? Like, he'll just...
Yeah. I mean, that goes needless to say. It's just full time, it's happening. And if you have a camera or whatever and you somehow get a photo and get away with it, it's fucking tight. Because I've seen the dude plenty of times fucking grab people's cameras, take the film out, fucking, like, you know what I mean? Heavy shit, like.
Is that the first frontside boardside down a handrail?
I don't know if it's the first frontside boardside down a handrail, but I mean, if this was it, I don't know. I think Bryce, at the time, I wasn't on staff for any magazines. I think it was like I was 15 years old. This is like right when I met Julian, like 14, 15 years old. Yeah, Bryce was, I think, right here, and I shot a photo like off to the side.
I don't remember Tobin being there. Wow, he poached my shit. I have the shot. I mean, I shot it. It was in Thrasher. It was around the time we were filming Sick Boy.
Was that the first time anyone had done that on a rail?
That was the first time ever.
It was a photo in the mag, Battered Man, some sequence in the mag.
It wasn't an ad?
No. If you look at his hands, he's holding his hands because he was touching his hands the whole time, and he was like, just fucking hold my hands back. And the one sequence in the mag and the make, his hands, he's just like, hand.
And then 95 rolled around, and Julian and I, we were shooting the shit, talking about, you know, fucking, the skating's kind of stale right now. We got to figure out something to do. And then Jimmy called him up. He said, hey, come on in. Julian thought he was getting canned, but he's like, you know, we want to start you to company for you.
So yeah, what was the concept behind Anti-Hero, do you think?
There was no concept. Well, maybe there was. I don't know. Just kind of balance out the rest of what was going on or something with what was going on with us.
I think if you pay attention to the life and the way things are, that you come out pretty jaded by, you know, life or, you know, things that aren't the way they should be. And I think Anti-Hero is a reflection of that. I think Julian's own twisted take on things has been, like I said, there's no expectations. We just skate, we fuck off, we have a good time. We go to trips sometimes and nothing happens. Or sometimes we go on a trip and everything happens at once, you never know. And I think that translates very much into John's way of life, whether it's hunting or fishing or whatever. John, you know, he's an outdoorsman. And I think that hardy spirit of America translated very well with Julian's gritty grime of like the city slime into making a really solid, this is what it is to us.
Next thing you know, Julian just fucking hit me up. Julian was like, yeah, this, you know, we're thinking about this company or whatever. It was like, you know, Deluxe is kind of like hooking it up. We, you know, we're thinking about, you know, trying to start this thing. You know, we got Bob popping off. We got fucking all this shit happening right now. Like, let's fucking throw something together, you know? Like, he was just kind of saying that it's there to be done. You know, are you in, you know? And I was like, fuck yeah. And fucking, boom, Anti-Hero. It was sick.
Hi, Johnny!
A
all the guys that ran Deluxe asked Julian if he wanted to do a skateboard company. And so he asked me if I wanted to do the photography and film. And then we went and did this video, and it's called Fucktards, and it was really fun. This is Curtis Stauffer, who rode for SMA, and you could see, like, you know how I talk about, like, they look like the outsiders.
So those people aren't wearing
Stuff.
costumes, they're like, just as how they dress?
No, they're total hippies. They're like, I think it was like during, like, the Grateful Dead was in town, and like, the kids, these guys were just like totally following the Grateful Dead.
People always remember this one. Because I feel like this video's come out as just like a real classic. Do you feel like it was just like kind of thrown together, or do you think a lot of thought went into it?
Oh, I know it was just thrown together. It was just what it was. It was just like make a video. You know what I mean?
I just like, with that video, we just tried to like let each moment kind of lead to the next moment, you know? Have it, give it a sort of organic feel, just like skating, you know? Like life in general, just keep it kind of natural as opposed to tricks and parts.
First time I seen Bob skate was at the Widowmaker at Jake's Rant. He fucking just destroyed it, dude. Shit, like he was just amazing, dude. It was like, it was unbelievable what he was doing with no pads, just fucking skating hard, you know? That was Bob, dude. He's still the same fucking skate rat, dude. He just a pad or two extra is the only difference.
I think it's the translation. You got to see people's friendships, them partying together and hanging out, and it just made you feel like you're at home with your bros that you were growing up with. It made you feel like this could be me and my homies in the woods right now. You juggle it any which way you want. It's like, it made you feel like it was real skateboarding.
Dude, Sean Young was shit. That's crazy you brought that name up, dude, because nobody ever brings that name up. That was the best skateboarder ever.
I always like the Union Square Sean Young stuff. It's like, it was really raw, and I think 'cause there's no music and stuff, it's totally different than like a lot of footage that comes out.
No doubt. I mean, you know what's the trip is Embarcadero got kind of flat for a while, and then fucking people started skating Union Square more. Union Square was fucking probably one of the sickest spots to skate in San Francisco.
I filmed a lot of the skating too, although not all the skating, because a lot of the skaters' friends would film them. I think that's like kind of primarily how they got the skate footage, is that, you know, what they call bro cam.
Red light on, record. Red light off, standby. It's on right now, it's recording. Just press the button.
Yeah, well, we only kicked it with each other, you know what I mean? It was like having a video camera was a burden for the most part, because you had to take care of it. You know what I mean? So like, taking care of a video camera sucked, because it was like a baby. You couldn't get drunk and fucking leave it somewhere. Whenever somebody wanted to get some footage, we'd just fucking be like, okay, well, I'll film it, dude. You know what I mean? See, these are the days right here. This is when we used to fucking chill. Oh, dude, Eric J. Okay, look, we caught him right there. That's footage of us catching him, shooting up. We stopped at a fucking Winchell's or whatever, and hey, where's Eric? And then we busted, got him right here, and now he's all, like, he fully got caught, and he's all doped up right there, like, oh.
So it's not even like fake being out of it?
Oh, no, he was fucking done, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm planning after this maybe a Mickey episode, just like one all about Mickey. There's so much history there too.
Yeah, oh, dude. That dude, he's fucking sick. And one time too, fuck, we got drunk in this in some hotel room, and it fucking escalated out into the fucking porch or some shit, right? And Mickey's like fucking coming at me like a fucking bear, drunk ass bear, right? So I fucking dipped down and I fucking caught him on his belly button, put him up on my shoulder, and popped him over the rail of the balcony, dude. And he fucking went off the rail and fucking landed on the van, just fucking like got back up and just fucking, needless to say, it was a heavy night, dude. Mick Reyes, that's it, straight up. Fucking that dude right there is straight inspiration to skating for me, because what is like Sick Boys and shit, watching the videos being a kid, I always looked up to San Francisco, like that was the shit, city skating, you know what I mean? And fucking when Sick Boys came out, Mick was the shit. And fucking forever, dude, he was just always the gnarliest dude. Mickey, dude, you fuck with Mickey, you're gonna get a response, like anything, you know what I mean? Like if you just like scratch him, he's like, oh, you're gonna pay for this, you know? We got into hella fights. He stabbed me one time. He stabbed me with a fucking knife, dude. He stabbed me in the leg. And it was like, we had just been wrestling or some shit, and I fucking just had a loose arm, and I fucking hit him in the face. And he was like, fucking stabbed me in the leg, dude, for like a hit in the face. And I was like, this dude. I was like, whoa, bro, you know what I mean? So I learned from early on, it was like, this dude's fucking gnarly.
How much blood do you think you could lose before you pass out?
Here's me with Mickey's gun. His father was a police officer, so he always said that one day he'd be a cop. Like one day he would, take the job as being a cop. And it was fun. I think I probably went out with him like a handful of times. This is fucking hilarious.
You think it's a fucking game, huh? Shut up and a double fuck you. Fuck you and a fuck you. Fuck you.
Shit, Tobin was my roommate at the time, and he came in on a roll around, so we just lighten up like crackheads and shit and freaking people out. And I didn't even know it was going in the video, I could have gone to jail for that.
For having someone?
No, I'm just joking. I don't know, anything could have happened back then. We're getting crazy.
This shit right here, dude. This is fucked up. I smoked on a cigarette, and that fucking like made me sick, dude. It spun me out.
Hey, dude, I'll do it. I promise. Fuck yeah! All right, well, let me tell you.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking puke. And he's like, dude, just fucking puke then. Just let it go. And I'm like, right here? And I'm like, fuck. Just let it happen, dude. And then fucking Andy gets hyped. And he starts fucking trying to puke too. Just trying to get in the mix. Look.
Come on, power squat. 5 more. Wait, one more. I got one more.
You got the technique, dude.
Andy.
And here in the land of the good life, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I wish that dude fucking still kicked it, man. It's like, I fucking hate that he left. We were all such good friends, and we fucking kicked it so hard, and then it was like all of a sudden, like, he just fucking moved on or some shit. Like, it was like drugs and all that shit was more important, I guess.
When's the last time you seen him?
I ain't seen him in a long time. He ain't a trip. I still love the dude, but I just don't know. Like, he went to jail or whatever. I don't know what he's into right now.
Yeah.
I wish he was still skating, but...
Are these guns yours?
Mm-hmm.
You have a pretty big gun collection?
Yeah.
And yeah, seeing the anti-hero videos, you guys are like looking through them all and stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, I love guns. Oh, I fucking got mega guns.
I mean, skating with those guys brought me back to like my roots of skateboarding with like dudes on the East Coast. Just skated anything at all times and like would skate all night and then wake up and skate a park at like 9 a.m. It's rad traveling with those guys because they do it like legit like camping, skating style like you did when you first started,
That's in Australia.
Is that first for skating?
No, those were casting ponds. Those not for skating. They're fishing ponds. We want to go to the oldest parks. We want to go to the shit that no one knows about. We want to just go skate every park. We tried to skate as many parks as we could on every trip. Fuck, you want to put a stamp on it. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck yeah, I want to fucking hook this spot up.
And sometimes it would just show a trick at a spot. I felt like just to show the spot more than the trick. Like
I definitely did that for sure.
Like
I edited that just for the interest of skaters. You know, like what was that spot? Kind of just to get skaters excited to cruise around. There's a lot out there. Yeah.
Fuck.
fucking up. Good.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
Andy ended up with a cut in the back of his leg. That's the cut that I'm sewing up on his leg in the video. So it's like,
was it fishing line you're using, or is it
dental floss?
Dental floss.
Yeah.
So was it successful? The stitches?
No, it was kind of just a weak attempt. It was harsh. The fuck did I say, dick?
Whoa. No way, you could have got electroshot. Oh.
I met the Hill Ride crew by accident and knew to avoid them in the future. Yeah, they're a scary crew.
Oh. You obviously remember trying that.
Fucking Jake, dude. He was like, got this rail up the fucking street from my house, bro. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's check it.
It was Goofy Foot, and I said to myself, I was like, there's only two people I know that could do it. Mark was living in L.A., and I said, well, get Jonzo down here. He tried it, like, fucking seriously, maybe 40 times.
I fucking seriously felt like I could do it, dude, and I kept trying. But if you trip on it, dude, the only thing that sucked, when I would rail slide it, I'd have to rail slide it and then, like, tilt my board a little bit. So when I came off, I'd have to make it through the kink, and then tilt my board, and then fucking take it, like, to the left. And if you went straight, you would run into the dirt, and there would be no run out, so it was fucked. Dude, Jake he wants to see people fucking get hurt. Here's Jake's quote, right? Do you got fucking color film in that? I'm telling Luke. Luke's like, why, dude? He's all, for the fucking blood. I was like, damn. Just put a fucking slam section in and watch Jake fucking go off.
This photo, he's fucking dead on the ground, and he just said, let it go, let it go, let it go. And he shook it off, he cringes up, curls up in a ball. It's like the saturated blood leaking in his eyes, and he's fucking dirt and shit. But then Fausto said, what the fuck, can't we have just some fucking kid doing some street trick? And I was like, look, fucker, that's as gnarly as it's gonna get. But, of course, didn't make it. Same with the Phil thing, too. I have the other one, too. But
these are the covers that
never happened.
I wasn't part of the whole scene. But I was
they wouldn't let you hang?
Nah. I mean,
just kidding.
When I could ride, that's cool, but I wasn't trying to get in the gang or nothing. But when I could, that was sweet.
Oh wait, remember you were telling me about Gons and Cardiel doing the car wash 7 years before gym?
Yeah. We were just out skating and drinking beers and fucking around. And that's where that shit came from. There was no, nothing.
That was Mark's spot, dude. He had all these different spots that he was explaining. You know what I mean? And then we went there. He already had the wood hooked up on top. And, dude, he was like, didn't want to do it. So then I got up top and I started tripping on it. That's what, if you look at it like this, it's fucking kind of cool that we're talking about it. I never really explained it to nobody before. Yeah, see, he was freaking out right there, right? So you could tell, like, he was fighting some fucking demons or some bullshit, right? And he didn't want to. And I was up top looking at it like, I was thinking, I want to do this. So I was like, dude, I told him, I go, Mark, if I give it a try, will you try it? I was just looking at it like, fuck, like, this is gnarly, but I'm with the gnarliest dude. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck, so if I try it, maybe he'll make it. And fucking it'll be tight, you know what I mean?
Get it, John.
I felt bad that I had made it before Mark, but I was so juiced on fucking being there with Mark.
You got it, Mark! You got it! Yeah, you got it. Go, go.
You know
So
what I mean?
what happened? How hurt did he get there?
He fucking shaved off his eyebrow and fucking scratched up his chin.
So his whole eyebrow was gone?
Yeah. It was fucked up. I felt hella bad, dude.
We met a lady that was psychic that said John was suicidal. And John flipped out. We were at a health food store and this lady's like, I'm picking up everybody's auras. She goes, your friend over there is suicidal.
There's like a handful of things when, like if you go back and you're like, what did you do with your life, you know? And Cardiel, he did that tail drop at Burnside, like from the highest point that you possibly can get to, which was ridiculous. I was there and it was like, it was surreal because as soon as he put his tail down, everyone would stop skating and the place would get completely silent. And everyone knew that it was gonna be so gnarly. Everyone just had that much respect for that moment that everyone was just like, no one wanted to distract him or anything. They just wanted to like, you know, let him concentrate because it was fucking deadly. He could have really got fucked up.
He's like, I want to drop in on the vert wall at Burnside. And he goes, I want it to say off the wall. And at the time at Vans, we weren't even, you know, they weren't psyched on any of that the older stuff like the off the wall or anything like this. They were just, you know, making stuff for Mervyn's and these big box stores. And they're like, yeah, we have to be new and we have to be current. We have to compete with the DCs and all these like modern looking companies. And it was a different landscape in skateboarding anyway. And John was just like, no, the OG shit, the real shit is the off-the-wall thing. And then that was his first ad coming back.
I was watching him and just thinking, just what's going through his mind right now, you know? And skating with Cardiel, you'd have moments like that where you just wanted to know what was going on in his head because the thing he was trying was so insane that I would probably just have a nervous breakdown thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Like, he just has to go fast. Like, John destroys rental cars. John will, like, if you give him a snowmobile or anything motorized, dirt bikes, quads, anything, he's gonna run the thing till it just is ready to blow up. And I think, like, he can't help himself.
Probably at Changa World, there was a massive roll-in and he was going as fast as he possibly could and just full commitment every time. But he's fucking amazing. He's like a ball of energy, you know? He's instantly psyched. I thought I was, like I had a really bad hipper and I was only 17. I was like, like it swelled up a lot and I couldn't really skate. And Cardiel's just like, let's take some Advil, charge it. And he was, obviously, he had taken some brutal slams on the trip and he was just still going for it. Just mouth full of chew, just lots of Advil.
And then the 360 air at Marseille that he put down on the broken board was fucking ridiculous. Like, that was just mind-numbing.
2000. 1999 was the year before. Was Wade and John weren't there together. Watching them both hitting the finals, I was like, man, this is it. You know, there's no way that any two dudes could better represent what's going on in this pool. And then, you know, Wade won it. And then John, I think he got like top 10, but you know, they both were going to work. But the next year, Omar showed up and he won it, but John's like fucking trying this 360 transfer from the main hip into this bolt.
My brother had passed away, like it was only a couple of months before. So I was just on some fucking possessed shit. Like I wasn't even really kicking it with nobody. I was just out there skating. I was like, fuck, I want to win this contest for my fucking brother. I was just fucking like, just on some different shit, right? Not really on some skating shit, just on some fucking, just aggression shit. Well, the fucking contest was gone. I was fucking all tired. I just done my run or whatever, and fucking, I wanted to fucking jump from the bowl to bowl, because that was like fucking, only person that had ever done it was supposedly Danny Way, or no, Andy McDonald or some shit, back in the day, like 1990 or something, when they just first had built it. So I was like, fucking, I want to do the 360 into the bowl. Fucking, you know, this is gonna fucking set the standard, you know what I mean? So fucking, I fucking tried it. I fucking had snapped my board, and fucking I just kept trying it.
You almost want to grab your friend and be like, dude, you know, you're fucking, it's over, it's done, you know, like, Rocky, you're done or something. But it's like, that's like probably the stupidest thing I would ever do if I did it, you know? Tell him fucking to give up on something, it's just, that'd be fucking retarded.
He's like looking at me, and he's standing there, you know, full Cardiel style like that. He fucking busts out a can of Copenhagen, and he's like, takes a dip, throws me the can, and he goes, oh man, this one's going in. But you could tell he was just like, I did that for me. Just like Pat Duffy and any of those dudes that are, they're so above the bravado of people telling him how rad you are. It's like, yeah, dude, that's fucking sick. He's like, nah, dude, it's for me. It's for my heart.
Julian told me that there part of him wanted to go up to you and be like, dude, don't stop trying this, man.
I bet, dude. You know what I mean? That's how fucking possessed I was. But it was fucking vibes through my brother, dude. I was just, you know, have you ever lost somebody in your life or some shit? You know what I mean? It's just, you're on some different shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, after a while being around John, like anything that he thought he could do, like he could do. Like there was no like limits. It's like that intense mental power that like separates people, you know, and that's what John personifies.
Did you film sight unseen a little bit different than you'd film an anti-hero video?
Totally, because it was like, anti-hero, we would drink and smoking and having fun and partying and stuff, but when my brother passed away from partying and drinking and stuff, it's like I had to change up my whole program and wasn't really partying like that, so I wasn't really kicking it with everybody as hard. You know, I was just trying to skate, you know, and so John had came to me and was like, dude, we want to make this video, and I was like, cool, something to focus on, you know what I mean, and I was like stoked on that, so fucking it was just a blessing to work on that video with John, and it was tight, dude. John is such a sick person. John Holland, he's fucking a dope golfer, and he's a tight ass dude, and he made these videos, and I fucking was down to support it, you know.
Sight Unseen was just an amazing video part. Period. It was still again at that era where like people were like, you have to have this banging ass, like gnarly hit trick kind of thing, and again John stepped to the plate and was just like, this is how I skate, take it or leave it. And it was like, he stood up next to the kids and he blew doors on them, you know?
I felt like everybody else in skating had worked so hard on these parts and shit like that. I was like, dude, I'll give it a try. You know, I'll work on a video part. I fucking tried it, dude. You know what I mean? I gave it a shot.
The street shit blows me away, when, you know? Well, dude, he took it really fucking seriously. And, you know, when he focuses, there's just nothing that he can't do. We've seen it, you know?
With John, was it more premeditated? Like the gold rail in Union Square?
That wasn't premeditated at all. That was like, I was there with Gabe. We were filming for a Vans commercial.
The production company that was paying for the commercial, they like put us up in this really nice hotel at Union Square. Like we'd never be staying there otherwise. And we were coming back from filming. We're out like bombing some hills, doing stuff with Thomas. And we looked over and we saw these rollerbladers like knocking the stoppers off that.
So I told Gabe, I was like, dude, tomorrow morning, let's fucking hook this up. And so we just went over there and busted it.
How many tries did it take you?
I don't know, probably about 8 tries or some shit. It was just like fucking try, fucking ball, sack yourself, fucking scrub on some stairs. But then it was just a matter of like, you had to go faster. You know what I mean? You had to just go faster. Because at first I was like, all right, I'm slamming way at the top of the rail. You know what I mean? So I got freaked out and was like, if I'm slamming, I need to be slamming on the ground. You know what I mean? So I tried in my mind to project myself all the way to the bottom of the stairs. So I had to get enough speed to like ollie onto the rail and I was like trying to aim my body at the bottom of the stairs, you know? Right there, dude.
We were just in Hawaii and we saw this kid who was like a Rasta kid that was maybe, you know, like 21, 22. And we're grabbing something to eat and the kid came up, he goes, are you John Cardiel? And John was like, yeah. And he goes, you're the skater? And he goes, dude, you've inspired me so much. He goes, I started skating because of you. And this was a kid, you know, that's like 14, 15 years younger than John and been totally influenced and started skateboarding because of John, you know, and like it's that kind of energy and like that kind of influence that like John has on people that I think, you know, is overlooked or people don't really realize how many people John reaches.
Cardiel, that's all you gotta say. He's got a whole town named after the fucking dude. He's got, you know, the Union Square rail. He's got the street. He's got
Cardiel Ledge.
He's got the ledge. You know, that's how you mean, like if you say it's Cardiel Ledge, it's like, you don't say it like Josh Kalis Ledge. No, you don't say that. You say Cardiel. Because that's what I always liked about the name. Cardiel is just such one of those names, like, what's back there? Cardiel's back there. You know what that means? Get some.
You picked up a board though, that's what skating's been. It's taking you a little bit further from your house every day you did it. You know, and this is just an extension of like when we first stepped on the board, this is how far we've gone now. You know, now we're all the way in Australia.
It's just a lot of fun. It's probably the best scenario imaginable. Just this crew and traveling, tent city, everyone's down.
See, the thing about us making skateboard videos is that I just had this idea of kind of like skateboarding and storytelling. Like talk with people a little bit, get some characters in there. Like I was never really interested in just making like I was always more interested in the fucking freaks. I was more interested in like how weird people were off their skateboards.
How did you first get involved with Julian Stranger?
That's a good question. It's funny, you know, everybody is like, dude, I love Julian because he's got the most mythical like personality in skateboarding, you know. I think he saw Fruit of the Vine or Northwest or, you know, both or whatever or something. He was just like, I dig this, you know, the style, you know, that you guys are doing something a little different, you know.
So we went up there and we met with him and then to San Francisco and then we hooked it all up and I think we got paid just about enough to make the video. It was super cheap. We just did it because we were like, if we're gonna make a skateboard video for someone, it'd be fun to make it for these guys.
These animals just had us. Like, look at these fuckers without tents, dude. And that's when it started. Like, everyone had to get tents.
You can't sleep outside here. There's wild animals all around, even in someone's backyard. It's
spiders.
Not safe.
Julian wanted to do a video to try to like anti-flash, like, because I think, you know, everyone was just like into these hyper flashy, like, fuck people staying in or going on hotels and filming trips. Like, he just wanted to bring it down to like be the spokesperson in the industry for like keeping it, like trying to keep it real and your bros go fucking travel, go get a tent, go sleep anywhere, don't have a plan. He knows that he's the guy to put that message out.
I mean, I know I got involved in skateboarding too because I didn't want to be a part of their fucking trip.
Right.
So I just wanted to fucking do my own thing.
Yeah, that's the highlight, you know, for sure. You're like, what's he gonna do? You know, what's Cardiel gonna do on this trip? You know, he's gonna do something crazy. If I could be good, That's the kind of good I'd like to be. You know what I mean? Like when you have those dreams at night, you know, and you're like the fucking star basketball player, you're making every trick when you're skating, you know? It's like for so many people, I'm sure, you know, that's the style that you can relate. Like that's how I'd be making everything. Like I'd be doing it like Cardiel, you know? I think that's probably, you know, like that's the style that a lot of people can relate to, you know?
Where's Oladella in the scheme?
Right here. And Wollongong's here. This is where.
Well, why don't we just hit Oladella to sleep?
And then charge out to here? That sounds good.
Dude, I've taken these roads too. Before, these are fucking fire roads, dude.
Really?
They're super sick. We could charge them over there.
Or you know what, the thing that stood out in my mind the most was we're going out to this big, huge full pipe up in the mountains. Julian and Frankie and John jump out to shoot this downhill. It's like one of those back roads, no cars, super windy, real steep. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll follow film or whatever, you know, jump out of the car. Like, these guys are like around the bend, like I'm still foot dragging, you know, like probably a quarter mile behind them within like 2 minutes.
I remember feeling like that was really scary following those dudes because like you couldn't see around those corners and like you drive on the left-hand side in Australia, so your natural instinct is kind of stay to the right. If you get in a pinch and like you could just come around a corner to a fucking head-on vehicle. They didn't even know what was around the next corner. Like,
dude, the shit was crazy. It was straight, like that was fucked up, man. Because we were going around corners for the first time, and they were just going around the corner, dude. Like straight in the blind side. You know, anybody, there could have been a car there. It was serious life or death.
Let me see it. Pull it up.
They're smoking. That's fucking hot. Dude, I was coming around the corner, I was like, it's sparked. It's sparked way.
Right there, yeah.
Man, no way.
Oh, it went all the way.
It's sketchy, you know, you get bust factors high. You know, you don't want to be in there that long. It's just the whole fact of being in a different country and in a pipe, it just didn't seem like there was that much danger. But in fact, there was twice as much danger. We were like 3 hours out off fire roads. You can only drive like 30 miles an hour on them. We're just way the fuck out there. When you're riding it, you don't really think about like what could really happen or what would happen if you couldn't get up from a fall. Like how would your friends get you out of there? You don't even think about that when you're riding it. Not until after it's all done and you just fucking go, survived it, pulled it off, got out of there, walked out of there alive.
Was it a conscious decision not to reference or mention Cardiel's getting hurt in the video?
It was just, at the pipe, that was like the end of the trip. But it was kind of just like, yeah, why talk about it? It's like, that's a whole nother story.
It was the end of our trip. We were skating Pran Park. Everybody was super tired. We were fucking done skating, doing the demo, and we were leaving the park, and fucking everybody, we were all hyped. We were leaving the place, and I was in a rental car with Matt Rodriguez, and Matt was driving, and everybody else was in the van in front of us. Like fucking, the van was rocking. They had music blazing. They were fucking jamming out, right? And I was just like asking Matt. I was like, dude, what if we get cut off from these dudes? How are we gonna get there? You know, we gotta follow these guys. So I'm gonna find out. So I hopped out of the car and I went around to the other side. The music was all loud and I was like, where are we going? You know, blah, 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 talking shit. And then they took off because homeboy didn't know that I was back there, you know, trying to figure it out. And they cut at the light. So I was like, scrambled, you know, and I fell. And right when I fell, I just got hit.
You're like, fuck, stop the car. You know, you knew something gnarly happened because you felt it. You know, it's like one of those, like, you never felt it before, but you know exactly what it is when you felt it. And you're just like, no way. There's no fucking way that just happened. It's like, it's weird. The first thing was, oh my God, I'm gonna puke.
I mean, it was something like, I really wasn't prepared for that to happen. You know, I don't think anybody is. It's just like, you know, for 30 days before that, he was fucking blasting 6-foot airs, you know, in front of you. And then like, fuck, all of a sudden shit happens, you know?
No, I woke up at the hospital. I thought I hit my head, you know what I mean? From the slam. I thought I just had hit my head and went out. But I didn't know that it hit my back and fucked my spinal cord up, you know? I looked down and I see Matt Rodriguez and Julian, they're looking at me. And Rodriguez was just like fucking hurt. And so was fucking Julian, they were hurt. Looking at me like, fuck, dude. And I was like, what's wrong? And I was like, why am I fucking here? And fucking Maddie fucking was like, dude, can you feel this? And he fucking was squeezing on my legs. I couldn't feel it, dude. They said that I would never walk again and that, you know, that I was paralyzed and I had to try to figure out life, like just deal with it, you know what I mean? That thing right there, dude.
How long were you on that for?
Want me to move any of this stuff? No, it's all good. It's 6 months.
6 months in the wheelchair?
Yeah, about 6 months. And 6 months to a year. It's fucking, this thing's fucked up, dude.
Were you psyched when you didn't have to use it?
Oh, yeah. Hella. I was fucking living here, wheelchairing around like the whole house and fucking had it all hooked up where like I had to make food, my wheelchair, and just fucking, it was just getting in my car, fucking everything, dude. It was just sucked.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about the injury, you know? I mean, like, just fucking, was my favorite dude ever, like my best friend to skate with, you know, and it's just like gone.
You know, just the pain that they felt, you know, for another friend, that you see somebody go down, you feel for that person and their family. I didn't want them to even have to feel that, you know what I mean? So I felt bad for what they were feeling, you know what I mean? I don't want no one to see me like that, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm not fucked up, you know what I mean? I couldn't process that.
Did they give you odds as far as like the odds of walking again?
Yeah, they fucking said that I will not walk again. There's no way. They told my mom that in front of me, and it fucking just broke her, just crumbled her right there, just. And I was like, fuck you, dude. I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna be stuck here. I was like, I'm walking out of this hospital, I told the dude.
Me and Joey went out there a month later after the accident, and we spent a month out there with him. Just watching him the day we got there till the day we left was like a whole different dude. Every day he like did stuff that the doctors told him not to do or shouldn't do or can't do, and you know, by the time we left, he was standing up.
I had worked on myself for those 6 months in there, and we had been in rehab and stuff. So I fucking was like, I'm walking home, Mom. I told her I'm walking home. So I came back home. I fucking had the lady, like right when I got to the door, the wheelchair all the way up to the door to get out where I knew my mom was kicking it, grabbed the fucking sticks and got up and just fucking like, I made myself like walk out the door, and my mom was fucking crying and shit. I was all hyped, like, yeah, I'm doing it. But then I got right back in my wheelchair and fucking had to deal with the shit. But I made it look like I was tight for a minute, you know what I mean?
So you're like super proficient at this. Is it different muscles than skating?
Yeah, dude, like look at me walk, dude. Got like this whole fucking side is all fucked up. I can't lift. So if my right ankle, like if I'm like this, it's like my right foot I can go like this. My left foot it's like That's all I got. You know what I mean? I can't, it doesn't react the same. So when I ride my bike, I fucking, since it's a fixed gear, it goes one way, and I just fucking push down and just fucking sink all my weight into each pedal. And that's how I fucking get jamming. And it just looks like I'm proficient, but I fucking just figured out ways to work it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the gnarliest dude on the board, and now he's the gnarliest dude fucking just period. It's like now that he's into the bikes and shit, we have that, so we go ride around and hit the streets, which is insane. Being on the streets with John again is like, even if it's not on a skateboard, you know, on bikes and stuff, you're just like, it feels really good.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's all the same, you know, because it's not necessarily the skateboard itself or skateboarding, it's the energy that's like going down at that moment. And you can recreate that fucking, you know, playing a game of fucking flick football, you know what I mean? We could fucking vibe right now and it'd just be like skating. You know what I mean? Straight up, we could get into some shit, but get a dice game going or something, and we'd just be fucking rah, and it would be like, that was great. You know what I mean? It was just like a session, you know what I mean? Same vibes, straight up. And I don't even trip, whether it be a bike or whatever, it's just fucking the whole gamut. It's just vibes. I still live and breathe skating, I just can't do it, you know what I mean? Everything I see is skating. Like, you know, it's like, there's a snap off that, or I mean, you can't leave skating, you know what I mean? It's always, everything I fucking do, dude. Everything I do involves skating, somewhat.
And he still fucking reads the mag. He'll call me on a caption or some shit. He's in it. Ain't no doubt about it. It's not like, hey, dude, skating's fucking, you know, I'm into real estate now. I'm starting my own Mexican restaurant. It's like, fuck no, that dude's fucking skateboard to the core. And if you think you got it faded, like, what's up, dude? Ask yourself, check the miles, bro. Seriously, kick the tires, check the mileage. That's John Cardiel, no doubt.
Whether he can skate now or not is irrelevant. They see what he did, and what he did is timeless. When you have somebody like John that has that kind of influence and means, it's a special thing. It doesn't come along every day. It's not something that you have to like create a marketing scheme for or anything. It's just is what it is.
When we got the flip book done and John actually saw it, the next day he called me and he's like, I'm gonna get you a skate ad. And I was like, you're gonna get a skate ad? What? Like, what? And he was like, yeah. No, I'm psyched, Robin. I'm gonna get an ad. And I was like, if you get an ad, give it to fucking Julian. And he was like, well, no, I'm gonna get more than one. And I was like, right on, John. And he probably will.
When I saw that anti-hero ad with him doing the G-turn, I was like almost crying, you know. That was one of the best photos I've seen in a while of John, you know. I mean, everybody was waiting for that day to see that photo of him on a board again.
We kind of fudged that. Like, me and Gabe, I was like, dude, I could walk. So I was like, me and Gabe, I was like, dude, I think I could fudge a nose really real quick, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just wanted to like hook that up. I got this, you know, I'm coming back, Gabe. But at the same time, internally, I'm like, that's nothing. You know what I mean? I got way more inside, you know what I mean? But it just can't get out, you know? That's the thing that's fucked up about skating right now while I'm hurt, is I just want more. Like, I fucking want to be doing everything. Like, I see all these new parks that are popped up everywhere. I want to be skating them. So it's like, I can't do it like I fucking want to. No matter how much fucking work or whatever. I mean, some shit just don't work. I can't fucking move my left ankle. Like, there's just shit that's fucked up. And it's just restricting. You know what I mean? So it's just like, Is this bike, Mark always said that this bike right here is his favorite bike, right? This bike right here, it has easy getaways. See, because you can get your feet out of it and everything, right? So he always said that this is the sickest bike, because it's got a good escape, you know, like Houdini style. This is a fixed gear bike. Yeah. Look, see when it goes like this, there's no stopping it either way. It's really fun, man, because it's like you're constantly fucking riding, and you don't stop, you know what I mean? So you're constantly jamming, and it's like kind of like in a way of skating where you gotta like fucking judge what's in front of you and shit like that. So you gotta be kind of on your toes.
Did you ride bikes like this before you got hurt?
Never did. I fucking wouldn't even try. I was like, fixed gear bikes were gay to me. You know what I mean? I was like, why would you want to ride a fixed gear bike? You know what I mean? You can't freewheel, you can't jump them. But then now, you know, since I've been fucked up, It's the sickest thing because you want to learn how to jump them and you want to learn how to fucking do tricks on them. You know what I mean? You want to break it. You want to break the chains of it and you want to fucking learn how to do everything you can do on a freewheel bike on one of these.
I know his mind's always thinking about skating because anywhere we cruise, anywhere we hang out, we're always calling out spots. He's always saying like, look how sick that spot is. Look how rad that thing is. Like, look at that. That ought to be sick. Like, yeah, he's jamming, man.
Dude, he was setting up a board for a deluxe. I was like, what are you gonna do, cruise? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what? Gnarly.
You just saw him?
Yeah. Last month when I was in Frisco, I went to the deluxe to get some shit for my friend's shop. And him and Julian and Mickey and a whole bunch of other strappers were just sitting out front hanging tough, drinking coffees and shit. John was setting up a board. It was a hot sight to see that dude. He had the board in his hand, no trucks. He was putting the bolts in. I was like, oh, that's hot.
There's only one John. People are still into it. There'll always be like true skaters and true people that just feed off John's energy.
On the East Coast tour, we brought Julian and John out just because who doesn't want to see John Cardiel and Julian like just randomly with the Vans teams. So we all went to the Autumn Bowl. We were there for like an hour and a half and then Dustin ran outside screaming, Cardiel has my board, he's skating the bowl.
Dolan was ripping and I was just watching Dustin skate. He don't give a fuck if I'm hurt or what. He's like fucking John, you know, my homeboy. So he's skating, having beers and having fun regardless if I'm kicking it there. So I like that vibe. You know what I mean? Like he's doing his own thing. And I was just juiced. And I was like, I wanted some of that juice from his board. And I was like, dude, I know I could fucking skate. So I fucking just like was like, Dustin, let me try your board. And I just hit it like that.
He doesn't want to be like babied or like, you're just like psyched for him just like you would have been psyched for him if anything he did. I think there's like a certain amount of respect you just give John to like not treat him like he's the wounded bird or anything, you know? Like, yes, he can't skate the way he could skate, but like what he's like still doing a lot of other things and he's getting his rush and his feeling they got from skating other ways. He still laughs.
You know, if you look at him, like, you ask him now, how are you? You're like, pretty good. How about you? And you're like, his eyes, I mean, the eyes of the eagle, you right through him. It's just the hardest stare ever. I think anybody else would have taken an easy way out. John's he's just such a survivor. I mean, it's like, it's a lesson in life. I mean, it's truly a very honoring time for me to didn't look at myself and say, you know, I flubbed my life 100,000 fucking times, but I never paid like that. And that's why I go skate now, you know, because I skate for people that can't, whether it's Phil or John. It's like, hey, the road's out there, man. Help yourself.
John will always have a place here and with Anti-Hero forever, you know? Maybe today's kids won't know John, but he touched so many dudes and skated with so many people that alone translates through all those guys. So if you're a shop owner now, one of your favorite skaters was Cardiel. So you're the shop owner going, dude, you gotta check this tape out. This was a dude, this was my dude, this is, you know, so the education's there and it's gonna trickle down to the kids, but you know, it's not gonna be the Andrew Reynolds or anything like that of this era right now, you know? It's gonna be Cardiel, that dude was sick, you know?
I think a lot of guys, you know, a lot of guys younger than me know it, and I'm sure there's fucking a million kids out there that don't really know. Then there's a million kids that don't know jack shit about anything anyways. He's done so much for skating that I feel like the dude just has earned his place in skateboarding forever, as far as I'm concerned.
Like Muhammad Ali could always endorse like a boxing glove or endorse something, or Michael Jordan should always have a shoe out, you know? Right. So it seems like skating, it's like, and I just see Cardiel, like, when I see his board on the wall, it makes perfect sense. Of course he has a board on the wall.
Yeah. That's good. I never thought about it in those terms, like as far like Muhammad Ali boxing equipment or the Jordan shoe. It's true, man. It's fucking true. These people make their mark on something and they kind of change it forever.
Skating has brought me here where I am at. I fucking recognize that I fucking lived hard life through skateboarding, and it fucking brought me to where I'm at. I take my ass whooping, But fucking skateboarding, respect, you know what I mean? Straight up.